As we have in the bottom left, our red Terran player. This is going to be Clem. Prepping the Team Liquid. While in the top right, our blue Protoss player is Zoun. Did I end up getting my 4-pack of Monster Energy drinks yesterday? No. I didn't go to the shop yesterday. Maybe today. I still have some from last time they sent me some, actually. They're cranking them out for the weekend for sure. Alrighty, so Diffusion, one of the maps we've seen maybe the most of. It also got some love during the qualifier. Let's see what happens. Am I going to the offline tournament in Bulgaria? I highly doubt it. They didn't invite me last year. I've never talked to anyone from this event at all. So I'm gonna say probably not. But would love to if they want me. Love to, obviously, but I'm gonna assume probably not.
Game paused.
And drops a little pause down for a second. Hopefully nothing too major. NP equals no pause. That'd be funny. Yeah, you say NP, it's just like, oh, because you said NP, you get to unpause immediately. Keyboard issue. Clem so chilled. I was like, take your time. What about our schedule, Clem? No thoughts about that, huh? Obviously, hopefully it isn't anything too serious. We can get back to it nice and quick. Cheers, how are you? Thank you so much for the 2-month resub. Still working, but need to support SC2. Hell yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Game resumed.
Let's get back to it. Diffusion, our map. Have one of this best of 3. As we settle down, we'll look to see what happens. See where we take this over the next little bit. Definitely some setting up to be done here. Especially waiting for the tech choice from Zoun. As Clem builds into the Hellion, get himself some presence on the map already. And Zoun is going to show us the Stargate opening. Clem is so deadly against the Stargate. This is why I'm interested, because Zoun seems pretty confident in the Stargate. I think Clem is very good at kind of denying it, so it's kind of an interesting match that we get here. Couple stalkers gather up. We'll get on the way through. Phoenix coming about. And we do see the medevac boosting across the map here from Clem. There we go. With a mine, a few marines. Excuse me, make their way straight around. Let's see a few lifts coming in. The marine's going to drop back down. The adept takes some more damage. Medevac gets picked off, and the few probes going down already. Liberator of Clem coming across to the other side. Viscounts on Forge both coming up. And Zoun, over with the Phoenix, able to knock down some of the harassment of Clem. Get that cleaned up nice and quickly. And now poking in on the natural. So Zoun actually want to apply some pressure here. And Clem loses Cyclone very quickly. Had to pull the SCV, loses a mule off of that. Remember, Zoun's in a weird place in this group because he beat Bjorn, but he lost to Jumi, which puts him in a really weird position where losing to Clem would put him 2-1. And that could be very weird for him. Obviously puts his kind of fate in the hands of others. Could still get through in a tiebreaker, but yeah, it's a tough position in this group for Zoun. Clem, as he pushes this back, well, not just push it back easily, he will chase across the map and actually try and hunt this down for a little bit, so going right across the other side. And drop a CC down into the front. Obviously, Phoenix gives you so much map control. Can't really imagine Clem is in any rush to try and run across the map or anything against that. Two Vikings, two medevacs coming over. The Templar guy setting up as well. Vikings will chase as the Phoenix get pushed all the way back for a few moments here. And we'll take the watchtower again. So Clem's still holding the center of the map. A little poke of a hallucination on the other side, nothing too crazy there. Phoenix still gathering together. I mean, the medevac's actually going to get by. Only for a few moments though, as we begin to unload. Zoun stepping up, just going to come charging through. This drop isn't going to do much, but it's giving Clem the chance to run into the third base. But Zoun is defending that very well too. Enough zealots here to turn Clem away, so Clem is not going to succeed in attacking through this. The mine's going off, Zealot's taking a bit of a beating once again. And for the moment at least, it seems as though Zoun is going to take control of this. I mean, he's pushed Clem back in two different fronts. I think this is becoming a little bit of a Zoun situation right now. Zoun's best matchup probably is the PvT, by the way, in case you're not familiar with his game. He is very good in this matchup, has been very well kind of reserved in the results lately. In this matchup too. And he actually beat Clem in the pig tournament, I believe. Yeah, Zoun is no slouch, that's for sure. Yes, do have equal supplies here. Zoun getting toward the storm, that's going to be his next stepping stone into the future of this game as well, so he will get that all readied up. Solid Stalker. Yeah, they're in together for a few moments. Going to be seeing the Robe Bay and some gateways continuing online as well. Fire 7 forward, actually going to eat a couple of storms right off the bat, so that's going to be something you got to be super careful of from here on out. Don't let that just kind of fire through every time without a little bit of caution at the very least. So yeah, we'll need to take care in that regard as the bio meets a few more units. A little bit more damage being done for now. Big load up. Once again, Clem just not afraid to lift up everything and try to find some damage, so making a pretty committed move. It's going to leave him very weak in the center of the map here, so it's going to already be backing away, as you can see. Obviously, this means he's got a lot of units going the other way, and I wonder how Zoun will respond once he picks up on the fact that that is what's happening. Because right now, it doesn't really feel like he's doing much about it. The medevac's going to get right into this main base, so immediately will create some danger, forces the recall. Obviously, Clem could have done without a few moments earlier just because he was already under some pretty hefty attacks and was maybe arguably struggling a little bit to kind of come out the other side. More Widowmine shots, and now the rest of this army continues to step over. Chased by some Phoenix, though. Clem did fine for himself. If he protects these units as well and gets them out alive, then obviously we like it even more. I feel like it becomes an even better setup, better position to continue through from. Clem pulls back himself, and the rest of the army still settling up into the center here. The Vikings going to sit overhead along with everything else. This one, ship weapons coming through. We got ourselves the 2G upgrades coming about, the starport coming online as well. And the army just continues through into the center, a little bit of bio. Stepping forward, there is a storm coming down already, the few zealots. Gonna get hit, the Phoenix gonna come about, get rid of a Viking as well. Scan into the center one more time, and the army still from Zoun pulling away to the upper left hand side, so just trying to get out of there. Fire unloads. A couple of Phoenix already going to take some shots as well, so a few more hits coming through. We're just going to have ourselves the medevacs loading back up. We're going to load away from that watchtower. Storm comes down, hitting that bio army. Widowmine potentially aims towards the Phoenix. Giving chase, the Stalker's blinking through, the Zealot's trying to get there. A couple of Phoenix still chasing as the medevacs unload on the other side. The Bio and the Ghosts coming around together as well. And Templars on the high ground. Good Storm. Very good Storm, actually. As the Bio gets struck, Widowmines. Oh, actually going to get a lot of the Zealots just because there was so many mines right there. And Zoun wasn't really aware, I think, of just how many were about to fire, so he wasn't really paying too much attention. Stepping away at the moment, Clem as he kites backwards. Again, I gotta give it to Zoun. His army is looking convincing. He's keeping himself in a good position here in this game. I like what he's doing. I like where we are at. More shots coming through. That Colossus will go down. Put a few more storms into play. So that Stalker's the Arc. I'm going to continue to come across as well. So just going to run right over there as we do go back the other direction for just a few moments. Continue to get set up. Zoun keeps chasing, but we drop the Vikings down the ground. I actually think we've got a defense somewhat available still. I don't think we're looking too crazy to kind of suggest that there's a defense coming up here. Now the storm comes in, the Bioforce is going to be forced to slip backwards. The few Stalkers and try and poke about a little as well. Some cleanups being made. As we now resettle ourselves. Clem is going to chase forward a little bit, a couple snipes coming through. The problem with Zoun's army currently is it's just Zealot Stalker. Like, this is the point where I actually almost think I'd rather see Disruptors on the way than Colossus. Because I feel like at least Disruptors can start to kind of, split this army apart a bit. Colossus I struggle to see being potentially well enough defended. So that might just have kind of an issue of its own here. But for now, the Colossus does get to gather up. And just get to move through. Go back and forth a little bit. Gonna fight. Army still stepping up right here, just going to be coming straight through the front. Obviously, directly through the center is the plan. Then for Zoun, who he's going to get a little surrounded. The Prism is going to get warping a bit further back, so that should help. Just isn't good enough overall as continue to sit tightly here, and the rest of the army continues to gather up. Zealot's just going to peel away to the side, so Zoun not going to continue committing too much. He's going to at least try and shift some directions here, if possible. Come stepping through. He could put a bit of movement around the middle of the map, seeing how this middle of the map can really work a little bit, and how we can trade against this. That's pretty neat. Focus and Colossus will take that chance to knock down some rocks. Bio shows up 12 o'clock though, as well, and Clem already bouncing back through, looking for damage, looking for some danger, and to put his opponent into a difficult place whenever possible. Marauders go chasing after High Templar. Disruptor can gather as well. Again, Zoun's army is scary. It is 100% something which is... I mean, I could see Zoun's army winning a fight, right, at the end of the day. It's still very much to where I didn't like the Colossus rebuild at first, but he's got so many now that I don't mind it as much. I was more worried about the immediate danger that I felt Zoun was in, but obviously at this point he's not in as immediate a set of danger. And the Colossus are all living on low HP, which is fantastic efficiency-wise. That might actually make a bit of a difference here as we continue through. Zealot, Stalker, Colossus continue to come across now. You see that Bio still chasing back. Stalkers blink in. We're going to grab a medevac. Those Colossus, if you can't touch those Colossus, you're in trouble. And Clem needs a few more Vikings to come up and online to once again to be able to get going again. The storm comes through. That's some melting. The problem is, if it's not the Colossus firing, then the bio does fire up such huge amounts of damage. The Stalker's going down. A couple of Colossus. It's going to get picked away at as well. It looks as though it's danger time for Zoun. He gets a Disruptor mixed in here. Definitely Disruptor time from here on out, I think. Rebuilding that Colossus count a second time is going to be extremely difficult, but the Prison falls as well. Good split from Clem. Both Disruptors will fall. And Zoun is running away with his tail between his legs, and nothing really to show for this at the end. A hard-fought game that is going to trickle over into Clem's favor in the end. Just over that right-hand side. You unload onto the watchtower. Stalker's still moving. The bio on that bottom right side. Gonna start a fight, and the EMP goes down. A couple of units gonna get picked away at. Clem obviously not with everything here, but he is still gonna dive through. Gets himself one of the disruptors as well. I'm obviously now with a pretty sizable supply advantage, but just playing it safe and steady. It's been a funky game, right? So a couple of disruptors going down. It's been a long back and forth game, so it's hard for Clem to maybe identify that this was the fight that broke Zoun truly down. Clem is going to take game one of this best of three as Zoun taps out of here and gets done on. In the bottom left-hand side, our red team player taking the 1-0 lead. It's going to be Clem. In the top right, our blue Protoss is a Zoun. Alright, so we set up Sand when we saw just a little earlier on. This map went from not being played at all, now being played a second time. Exciting to see. Because if he's will nibble, Pro will take some shots. We're gonna run across, just gonna go see what's up. We're gonna to start fighting onto the pylon. Next coming up, Nexus and the Twilight Council continue to come through. Stalker, Orb Gate continue to get set up right now. The orbital command coming through. Reaper will just make its way across. And there's a Stalker and the Adept's already in position to turn that Reaper around, so Reaper getting pushed back with immediate effect. Impact, Combat Shield, both continuing out right now. We've seen our blink continue through, Robo Facility coming up. I see the Adept gonna chase, the Reaper is gonna get hunted a little bit. I see the Reaper taking some shots. The Nexus, a couple probes, the Observer coming through. Gonna have the army of Clem continuing to move through into the center. The Stalkers just going to get rid of a Marine, looking to try and get rid of a couple. 3 Marines going down. The rest of the Stalkers continue to take quite a lot of shots. Chasing up toward that high ground. It's going to be seeing a couple extra Stalkers getting warped in, and they will be right there to push this back to the other side. Clem just keeps on stimming, though. He's going to find himself a few more Stalkers. Done a lot of Marauder damage onto the Adept. I think both Marauders are hitting the Adept there, which is actually pretty huge because that's a lot of damage, bonus damage lost. They were hitting the Stalkers, I think, Zoun loses a couple more units already. And this Clem will be turned around and forced back. Now the Fierce Stalkers continue to come through. Marines and the Marauders continue to be chased. As the Stalkers continue to hunt, a Marine goes down as well. The Marines, couple Marauders. +1 attack upgrade continue to come about. And we get our medevacs on the way through from Clem as well, so we continue to get that going. The charge coming up. Had a Forge on in there. Had some probes, Stalker. Continue to bring that into play as our bio will sit there once again. A little bit of bio. Just going to be chasing a few Stalkers. Going to turn around the other side. Some Marines taking damage, and the bio is going to get chased upwards. So Stalkers going to get pushed up once more. So we get pushed around. And the bio still just gathering up. A couple of medevacs are going to get joined in. Marine Marauder medevac still pushing here, and as Clem settles down up towards the top side. Zoun is halfway to +1, which would even out upgrades for a bit. Charge going to be very important for him as well, so just trying to get that brought into play at the moment. Order Mine's just going to get jumped on there. They both go down. The Bioforce is going to come over. Stalker's going to get shoved. He's going to be seeing one of those going down immediately. Fire will continue to trade as the couple of stalkers continue to drop and push those stalkers away. Now we get some bio unloading into the top left side of the main base. Next is going to recall up there. Takes quite a lot of units into the main base, which maybe gives Clem the chance to break through at the front. Can the Zealots hold their ground? I mean, yes, but losing quite a few of their numbers. The Stalkers, after recall into the main, are already back down to the low ground, so you've got to question, does that stop that main, medevac from coming back in again? A few more Zealots still showing up. The Zealots doing their thing, and definitely able to kind of tank a lot of damage and push straight back through once more as that bio regathers. Another Zealot goes down. Again, Marine Marauder medevac still coming up. The armor upgrade coming through as well. We've seen that bio just going to pull back a little bit. A few stalkers coming through, medevac going down. More Zealots getting picked away at here. Stalkers and sentries coming about. The Marines are going to get through, get rid of that Zealot. Now picking their way through some of those probes. And get rid of a Colossus over on that right-hand side as well. Just going to be seeing the rest of this continuing around. Just going to be having Clem. Looks as though he is doing enough to just about break through here, I think. The Stalkers will get forward. They will pick off another Widow Mine. The Marines continue to fight. The Zealots still taking damage. 8 probes have gone down here. And Clem will be losing the last couple of Marines. But yeah, 40 army supply lead, now 30 army supply lead after warping, but that kind of shows you where we're at. It's just not really too much to work with on the side of Zoun as the bio moves over. Medevacs come about. The prism on that bottom side is going to get cornered in. The mine's actually going to blow that prism up, so don't have to deal with that anymore. That's really nice. One of the ways that Zoun could have maybe bought time and maybe done damage to spin a game around, but now unlikely to continue in that direction as the medevac's going to get intercepted. One stalk, one medevac goes down, but the stalkers are very much so stuck, blinking across the sides. Obviously, the Bioforce does not care much about these little choke points. It chokes them up a little bit. It slows down some of their progress. It's funny because if they were smarter, they would have split across some of the few extra choke points and made it a bit smoother. But it doesn't really matter too much, especially in this situation as Clem continues to push around this right-hand side. Stalker's going to get rid of that Viking. And yeah, Bioforce is going to jump straight onto this Nexus. The few Zealots are still going to charge up. Widow Mine's firing through as well. So a few Stalkers still taking damage. The Zealots are going to try and charge back over this side as well. I mean, we are doing everything as Zoun to survive on this right side base. He's double expanding too. There's a base coming up to the 12 o'clock at the same time. Stalkers get rid of another Widow Mine here. Clem begins to knock down the rocks, open up the gold base possibility. They're all shared health pools as well, so you hit one, they all go down. And again, the whole idea is just to basically make, the idea is just to block it in such a way that none of those mineral patches are accessible until you knock those rocks down. You can put your base there before the rocks are knocked down. That's why they're in the shape that they are. It doesn't completely block the base being taken. It's about blocking the mining. Anyway, Clem cleans those out. He does get a little bit caught with this group of units, and that's a good catch from Zoun. He's going to need a few of those to help him out here at the moment. As you see the bio continue to chase. A few Zealots getting chased down as well. And again, a few extra ghosts continue to come about. A couple of Vikings coming in. Had some barracks into play. That CC is going to drop down into the center. The mines will fire. A couple of those Zealots getting picked away at. Infantry Fortress is going to have to lift off. The Bioforce will chase. The Vikings are going to come through as well. Coming straight over. Getting rid of both those Colossus. GG gets called from Zoun, and that is going to be that one. GG's. Alright, so that's going to be GG's.